Paul, different vibe this week after that victory, do you think, around the place?
Yeah, possibly. I think obviously a win builds confidence. I think for us, it's getting players back is a great feeling. So today we had Jack running on the side of the pitch, but we had Kane at it, Nathan back in, Joe in, obviously being able to select John Mellish, Will Offord. It just seems like I had all my midfielders back, and it seems a long time since that's been the case. So training today's been really good on Tuesday. The lads are upbeat, and I know wins give you that, I appreciate, but I think everyone's in a mood to sort of right the wrongs really at home. We have a responsibility as being in elite sport to entertain and to win football matches, I know that, but at home we've sort of let everyone down a little bit, so we're all aware of that, as, you know, we're all part of that, but we need to get our home form and more importantly our home performances up to the level that I know we can play. So it's been a good week, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to the lads playing on Saturday.
I suppose over the last month or so, 6 weeks, it's been about seeing how many players are available to play. And was there any part of you that was just need to get through this period with some points where we can get them, stay in touch with what's going on at the top, and then we'll be ready to go when those players start?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the arrogant part of my brain was like, it's okay, like whatever we've got, we've got. However, the anxiety part of my brain is like, we're 1 or 2 injuries away from an absolute disaster here. The full-back thing was a massive issue, quite obviously. So it always felt like we were literally just holding it together to a certain extent. And in fairness to the lads who have played a lot of minutes, like the Gills and this world, who's been brilliant, you ask them to play at a level a lot more running than what they did last year, obviously, and you're asking the same players to do it week in, week out. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we were looking like this could be, you know, difficult to say the least. Whereas now a few have come back, it automatically looks like, you know, really good. I think we've only got about 3 or 4 out, although amazing players, don't get me wrong, but it felt like at one stage we only had really, well, one, like when I spoke to you off the record, we had like 9 outfield fit last week at one time. So to now all of a sudden have a lot more is good, and what it does do as well, it raises the level of training. So the lads who are in the team can see competition. That's good, and the whole all the connotations of it is a real positive thing. The problem then there has, trying to select the best 11, but that's obviously on me and my staff to try and do that.
Let's just, you've talked a little bit about the players that are coming back and what. Can we just kind of get the names and what exactly who's back and whether they'll be available? Because there's back training, but not necessarily available to select. So obviously you've got Luke Offord and
John Mellish.
John Mellish back from suspension.
Yeah.
Who is it possible you might be able to select this weekend?
Well, them two.
Yeah.
Nath, he'll be available to select. Although I have selected for minutes Kane, but he looks now like he's sort of back to bang on it. I think Joe potentially would be available for the squad. He's trained a couple of days. He won't be match ready, but
it makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just even those players that you're talking about there, even having a player that's coming back on the bench, almost just that little bit, it's a boost.
Yeah, it is a boost. I mean, in my opinion, people like Nathan Thompson are like irreplaceable, but you have him on the bench, even if he doesn't come on, he brings something to the group. Right. He's a pro who's seen it, done it, a really excellent person. So it just makes your squad look better, and it is better. The other thing is having John Mellish and Joe back. Whether either will play is obviously another question, but it's just nice to have left footers on the left side of the pitch, and we're asking wingers to play as wing backs, and it's been a little bit awkward. But in fairness to the lads, I will say that they've given it all they had, so I can't really criticise them. But yeah, just having more players back, and like today I saw, 3 absolute world beaters, but I saw Aaron Collins, Geth, and Kane Wilson. They're the 3 out, and I'm thinking, that would be the utopia if they were back in the group. But unfortunately, they're not, and we should have enough to pick up our form and pick up some points.
I'm going to talk about the home form again. We want to end these conversations really,
That's
don't we,
fine.
soon? But I'll do that in a moment. We spoke to Aaron Lemaine. We had a chat with Aaron Lemaine before we spoke to you. Just talk me through. I mean, he's an energetic player, willing to work. What have you made of him so far this season?
Yeah, if I can rewind to what I thought of him when I came in. When I first came in, I didn't think he'd be for us. I didn't think he was. Although I had watched him at Notts County, I was aware of him. I mean, his agent had put him into me about 50 times, so I was well aware of him. And I didn't think he looked athletic enough for us. So at the end of last season, I was thinking, well, I'm not sure. However, I said to all the lads, look, you've got this programme to do off season, come back in really good shape. You've all got an opportunity to prove me wrong or right or whatever, but you'll all have a clean piece of paper when we come back. And I don't think anyone epitomises that more than him. I think he's been excellent. I can play him in any position. And there's always an argument with footballers or, the dressing rooms that if you're a good kid, you get walked over. So, like, if there's you two and you're a bit of a nutcase and you're a good kid, it's easier to leave the good kid out. Whereas my brain don't work like that. My brain works like, look, I'll just pick whatever I think is the best team. And if it's a 50-50 decision and this player is a good kid and he always does what I want him to do and I can rely on him, I'll go to bed Friday night, sleep better knowing that you're playing and not someone who's a little bit edgy. So, trying to get the dressing room to believe that is another thing. But in fairness, I don't have any problem children here yet, which is good. And I think the respect value between the staff and the players has been excellent since I've been here. So that's really good. So what I like about Aaron is he has a never say die attitude, which I love. He always wants to try and take people on. He always seems, even when he's absolutely dead on his feet, he'll keep going. I remember when he done his talk in Spain about his French background and how his career went and all that. I just think he's a fighter, and I think in teams you need different sort of personalities, and his really impresses me. I mean, if you had Rich here, Rich absolutely loves him. So because of that, because he's coachable, because he plays in loads of different positions, he has a real value to the team on or off the pitch, on the bench or in the team. He just adds value, and I don't think there's been a game yet that I've had him where he hasn't started or I haven't brought him on. And I think that's testament to how he trains, how he looks after himself, how he always smiles, how he always says hello, and all them things matter to me. I want a dressing room full of obviously good players, but people who contribute, and he's a contributor. It's
interesting because he's always struck me as a player that's got ability, but he's also struck me as somebody that can get better, that can be coached to get better, and I think that's what's happening now. When he's flourishing, when he's allowed to flourish in how he wants to play.
He's got goals in him. Yeah. Like in training and that. He's
something he's got to add.
He's got goals in him all the time. I mean, in fairness, it's hard to score goals if you're playing right wing back. I'll give him that, or left wing back, whatever the case may be. But we just need to try and get him higher up the pitch. But like I said, you can leave him on the halfway line 1v1, and you feel that if he gets done, he'll do a convenient foul or something. He just gets the game. You can tell he's had a good upbringing, and like I said, and he's popular with the lads, and that matters.
Gillingham in a moment, but just this home form, it's annoying. It must be really frustrating for so many reasons. One points-wise, that's the obvious one. Secondly, it's bums on seats. It's bums on seats at home. It's hugely important. It's something I would imagine that's kind of on your mind quite a bit.
Definitely. I think that. It is on my mind. I mean, I want to win football games, but if you said to me now I could flip the form and be horrific on the road and amazing at home and pick up all the wins, that's where our fans see us. This is their church, if you know what I mean. They come on a Saturday, you think, well, here we go, I'll take my kids or my mum or my best mate, go and watch the game. So you want your form at home. So I do feel like through mistakes of all of us or performances of the opposition, we just haven't been as dominant at home as I would like. There's parts of games that I've liked, but in entirety, I don't think we've been as good as we could be. And for that's on me. I am not putting any blame on the lads. I pick the team. I try and motivate the team. We coach the team. I just think that, for whatever reason, we need to. I'm going to change the whole. Not that it matters to people who are listening to me talk, but I'm going to change the whole pre-match stuff, how we deliver it, how we do it in the stadium tomorrow. So just so it feels a bit different to how we have done it, and hopefully on the back of a result and the lads coming back, we can put in a good performance, because fundamentally we're going to have to put a good performance in, because it's a team who have actually been top all season and just dropped to second. I know, obviously, send my best wishes to Gaz. He's had a heart op. I don't know if it's today actually, or anyway, I texted him earlier in the week, so he said he'll be fighting fit in a few weeks. But like one of my good friends, Dobbo's taken the team, so I know how good they are as a team, and I know how much the players want to do well for Gaz, so that adds an emotion to the game. And I know it'll be a tough game, and I know we'll have to be at our very best. What seems to have happened so far is we've played a lot of top teams at home, and fundamentally we haven't been as good as them. No. So you can't keep talking about how good you think your team is, how well they train, how great they are, and fail to really perform. So result aside, I'm looking forward to a performance which is more befitting our team on Saturday.
Nice words about Gareth Ainsworth, of course, and his teams have beaten MK Dons quite often in the past. He's been a bit of a thorn in MK Dons' side, and great bloke, really easy to talk to, different in this world of football. He's different, and he's done a great job at Gillingham.
Yeah, I mean, I think his teams have beat a lot of teams. I don't just think it's the Dons, in fairness. His Wickham team. In fairness, his Wickham team, the first game of the COVID season, played my Rotherham team, which I think was officially, if you go through the records, the worst game of football to ever exist. We won 1-0 with the last kick of the game, and we both sort of embarrassed. We were both apologising to the other manager after the game, going, "I am so sorry." And he was like, "I am so sorry." It was a horrific game. So I've come up against him loads of times. I know him really well. I know Dobbo really well. And he is a character. He wears crazy shoes, doesn't want to do his shirt up. He's a strong look. Whereas I'm the opposite. I want a heater gilet, I want a bobble hat, I want thermals. I'm Nesh on the side of the pitch and he's boiling hot. So, and a really good, he's been brilliant everywhere he's been. And the thing is, he's always, when he was a player, for those who ever watched him play, I don't want to get too lovey-dovey about him, but he was a brilliant athlete. Really good athlete. He's still in great nick, as you can see. So that's why I think it's even more shocking that, luckily it's been picked up on an LMA check that he needs a procedure, so hopefully he'll be back fighting fit soon.
I guess it's just finding that's hugely important then, to keep making sure you get those checks. You get to a certain age, you get to a certain...
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, I haven't had mine yet this year, so my missus is chewing my ear now straight away. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing, nothing more important than your own health. And that's why, at the moment, about 9 of us are running for prostate cancer. So we're doing that every day, and it's funny because there's some different shapes and sizes in my staff. I don't know if you notice on the side of the pitch on Saturday, you think, well, he's doing well. But in fairness, I've got someone doing 5K 18 minutes, very impressive, and I've got someone doing 5K in 40 plus minutes, which is as impressive because it's as hard for them as it is 18 minutes. Yeah. So we're all doing it every day, and hopefully raise funds for a good cause.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
How much of a relief is it, to have the 2 suspended lads back, obviously to bolster that defensive line?
Yeah, it is a relief. I mean, now, from Saturday, we've got Mags got through a large part of the game before he cramped up, and then we've got Marv, and then we've got Nath, and then we've got Offie. And then we've got Jack nearly back, and then all of a sudden, and it's not just that, it's like you've got a game on Tuesday, you need to, freshen things up. We've been fortunate, and we have been fortunate, that the games have been Saturday. If it had been Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, it could have been disastrous. And I know there's other teams around with a similar issue. I don't, we've tried to go over everything to work out, what's been the problem really, but to have defenders back and have options, and for example, if on Saturday, let's say Marv twists his ankle in the warm-up or after 10 minutes, obviously it's not such a catastrophe if you've got someone to replace. If you haven't, and like last week, we had Pato, our centre forward, playing right wing back. I mean right side centre half. Sorry, he thought he was playing right wing back. So you can only do so much shuffling, and then after that, in the end, it's like, well, me and Mitch are going to have to put a kit on, which no one wants to see.
So it's a bit more like round pegs in round holes going forward.
Yeah, which makes life a lot easier. And like I said, like today, with the way we were trying to play, and you've got like all your midfielders, and like none of them know who's playing, who isn't playing, and that sort of edginess in training is what you need. You don't want to turn up and, you know, there's only 8 who can walk and chew gum at the same time. They know they're playing no matter what. That isn't, you know, conducive to winning football, I don't think. I mean, everyone wants to be looking over their shoulder and know if they have a dip, or, you know, the game isn't going the way we want, we can change. And if you can bring on 3, 4, 5 subs that have a positive effect, then that, you know, that's a good thing.
When we spoke in pre-season, it was always about, we're getting ready to finally be able to get things started. Kind of feels like that now with these players coming back. It's like, finally.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does feel like that to me, and I know it doesn't possibly feel like that to the fans because they don't see them train. So all they see him on match day. So that's why even more, and like, you know, we've got to get comfortable at being uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. We've got to accept the fact that, look, we need to perform better at home. I just want the players to play at a level where, you know, the fans can appreciate what they're trying to do.
We saw obviously a development squad game in the week in the Bucks Senior Trophy. How much mind do you spend looking at the development squad and looking at those players that are sort of on the fringes?
Yeah, it varies. So like today, I'll have a debrief about the game, and they'll show me the stuff on the players they like, and, you know, how they think of developing. The developing players have been involved in training a lot over recent weeks because there's been room to. So I've been impressed with a couple of them for sure, and then their job then is to try and keep in front of us. In fairness, and that sounds a little bit awful and put pressure on people, but like, if you're going to be elite, that pressure makes them really. So like, they've got to try and stay within the training group, and like, there's another game on Tuesday in the cup, which enables them to have another opportunity. And like, you know, when we played West Ham at home the other week, I was, you know, disappointed with the first half, and I was explaining to the development group then, like, you don't have that many opportunities to, you know, you don't get that many chances to impress the staff and the scouts and everything. So you've got to grab it. So at the moment, I think they're doing really well, but, you know, they've always got to try and get better, try and get fitter, try and get, you know, technically better. And they keep dropping into our groups, into our training, and we always speak to Fran and Louis and sort of say, look, who do you think, like on Saturday, who do you think deserves to be on the bench from what you've seen this week? Don't worry about that you think I like this player. Who do you think deserves it? And it's like a reward to come and train with the first team, and I think that is a good way to run it.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.
No worries, mate.
Paul, nice result on Saturday. It's good to see players willing to go out of position, put their egos out the window and get stuck in for a win. Is that the team spirit and togetherness that we've been talking about over the last few weeks that you've been looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I read a book years ago, Ego is the Enemy. I don't know if you ever read that. It's a great book. But you have got to drop your egos in team sport. You've definitely got to do that. And I do think that games come down to very few moments. Like, so I love the Ryder Cup, and as good as we were on 2 days, on the third day, like, if one putt doesn't go in, we could end up losing it. It's like, it doesn't matter how much preparation you do, how well the game goes, doesn't go. It comes down to moments in the game. So last Saturday, we took our chances. There was a moment where Craig had to make a save from a corner. That goes in, and the performance prior to that is exactly the same, but that goal goes in. It's a point away from home. It doesn't feel as positive. So I think that from our point of view, from the coach's point of view, we just try and drill down performances. Like, we want results, but we need performances, and it's a good opportunity this weekend to get a performance at home. So I do like the fact that the lads roll their sleeves up and play in different positions and work hard for the team and put their bodies on the line. However, so they should.
Sure. At the start of the season, and the summer camp and everything, everyone was buzzing with confidence. They really were.
Yeah.
You said on Saturday that we seemed devoid of confidence in that game. We were winning that for 87 minutes of it, and we won the game. Where had that confidence gone?
I think that every club at the start of season feels amazing. They've got a new kit, haven't made a mistake. I haven't ever been at any training camp where the place isn't buzzing. In fact, it's just like a good place to be. Everyone's fit, there's no injuries and all that. And then I think that we've been misfortunate, or unfortunate is a better word, isn't it? Unfortunate possibly with injuries, and I do think it's taken a little bit of toll out of the lads. I do, because I've witnessed it today when the dressing room or the training group is a lot bigger and stronger, and you can see the confidence within them. I think when they feel like they're down on numbers and they're on the bad side of results, they're as human as anybody else. So I think if you ask the fan base, are they as confident in this group as they were on June the 1st or June the 30th, they would probably say no. And the players are no different. They know when they've played well and they get a boost. They know when they've underperformed and they take a hit. And our job as coaches is to try and show them all the good stuff that they've done to keep them upbeat, but also to admit this is the stuff we need to get better at. So I do think initially, I think and this is only a feeling, that we might have walked onto the pitch feeling invincible, whereas the invincibility cloak has probably like withered a little bit. And rightfully so, because they're 10th or 11th or whatever it is. So they're not top of the league where they want to be. So they probably aren't as confident as they possibly were. But confidence comes and goes in a heartbeat. You win at home to Gillingham on Saturday. They drive home like kings and queens. So it's just about trying to be consistent all the time and not have the highs and lows of the season, which you naturally have as fans, as you know. But as players and coaches, you just got to try and stay a bit more even. And I think in recent weeks, we've just, at home especially, I thought the last home game we dipped. And that's the first time I think I've really seen it.
Gillingham, last one on from me. Gillingham have had a brilliant start, as you know.
Yeah.
But they're coming here following a damaging home defeat at the weekend. As a professional player and manager, as an opponent, is it better to face a team that's just been beaten, or is it better to face one that's had a run of games and is due a beating?
I don't know. If Gillingham had won on Saturday, I mean, I've watched Gillingham's games, so a lot of the games they won, it could have gone either way and vice versa. So, you know, last week against Newport, they were 1-0 down. Newport missed a penalty to go 2-0 up, and that game could have took a different turn. So it's always on like moments of games. But if Gillingham had won 6 on the spin and came here, if we were our very best, I would take anybody on. If they'd lost 6 on the spin, you could argue that they're due a win. So I just think that the games are so random that you have to respect the opposition and build your team around what you think they're going to do, but you also have to be a bit more self-obsessed. Like, it's about not so much about the opposition, it's about what we can do, how we look at our best, what we can do when we get the ball back, what we look like in transitions, how good we can be on set pieces. And if you get too obsessed with the opposition, as a player, if my manager just kept going on about the opposition all the time, I would think, hell, like, we're not playing Real Madrid, like, just tell us what you want us to do and all that. So we have to respect the opposition, what they can do, and if Gillingham are at their very best and we're at our very best, it'll be like 2 buffaloes going for it. So I'm under no illusion that we have to be at our very best to win. But what form they bring into it doesn't bother me, because the form that we took from here to go to Shrewsbury last week, the team was a completely different shape, a different performance against a different opposition. But I don't think form is a bigger deal as a coach as people make out.
Lovely. Thanks, Paul.
No worries.